Good evening to one and all. I am Romeo Montero, staff member of XIC. On behalf of the management of XIC, I welcome you all to this orientation program and to Xavier Institute of Communications, where potential becomes achievement. A new academic year has its own surprises. Many of you are coming from different states of India, so it's totally a new place, new challenges, and above all, whole new journey at this 155-year-old heritage Xavier's campus, fondly called just Xavier's. As many alumni says, Xavier's is a way of life. Welcome class of 2024-25 and be a part of this unique experience. We also congratulate the first batch of strategic integrated communication program students who will be having the convocation followed by this event. I now request Dr. Father Conrad Pesso, Director of XIC, to lead us in prayer and address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Balasubramanian, Dr. Father Keith, the Chairman of the Trust, course heads, Dean Academic Sandra, and my dear students and your parents. Welcome to another academic year at XIC, and I'm pretty sure that the time you will invest in out here will bear fruit at the end of 9 or 10 months, depending on how early you are placed. Before I come to what I have to say, which will be very little right now, I invite you to join me in prayer. India is still a country where faith is found in different hues. And what we are learning more and more is the evolutionary nature of prayer, how prayer keeps evolving. And hence, I have made a small capsule of 2 minutes, 12 seconds, praying in an interreligious manner, which is the nature of our country, unity even in diversity. So we now have the prayer song. So my aim was to show you that prayer can be short and meaningful, can be inclusive, very especially in our very dear Bharat and India. The theme for this year is communication in a post-truth era. And my dear students and all of you gathered here today, we celebrate the resilience and the acumen of the Indian polity with the fantastic result that has come out just a few days ago, where you have won and still feel you have lost, where you have lost and you have still felt that you have won. And all of us together are celebrating that democracy has finally emerged as a winner. And if that be the case, then we are rewriting the platform and the areas for journalism, very especially for advertising and for all the other courses that will happen in XIC. My request to all of you students is to take advantage of all that will be given to you, all the facilities and all that will be taught, because come what may, India will be a $10 trillion economy in the years to come. And it is what you do today, what kind of preparation you do to reskill yourself, to rebuild yourself, that will take you to greater heights and share in the great economic progress that will come our way. Having said this, I will keep a lot of it for the classroom sessions which I'll have with some of you where I teach finance for communication. Thank you all of you and welcome to XIC.
Thank you, Father Pesso. Now invite Dr. Father Key D'Souza, Rector St. Xavier's College, to address us on the college vision and mission.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to Xavier's. The XIC, which is with the central portion of XIC is towards the end of the campus, but it is now part of the larger college. I don't know whether you can see this from far, so I'll read out some of the things there. The college is 155 years old. It was started in 1869, and the XIC building was one of the buildings built later. This was the first building, then the science block, this hall, and it was built by different generations of Jesuit fathers. First you had the German Jesuits. After the First World War, they were politely asked to leave by the British who were here. Then we had the Spanish, and now we have Indian Jesuit fathers who are running this college. As Jesuit institutions all over the world, we have very good institutions all over. We would like to accompany every student who is in our institution. I know how difficult that is. But in XIC, you are very fortunate because you don't have huge numbers. A college has about 6,000 students. You are much smaller, so it's much easier for the wonderful faculty that you have to accompany you. So take advantage of that, as Father Pesso has said, of the human resources that are here. We also intend to provide an education that is integral, not just at the level of the head, but also at the level of the heart. And communication has to do a lot with emotions, affectivity, and with hand as well. In Xavier's, learning takes place sometimes more outside the classroom than inside the classroom. I don't know, your course is going to be very intense. It's less than a year. Whatever course you're doing, whichever vertical you are engaged in, it's going to be extremely intense. So parents, a lot of parents here, be warned about that, but then it's going to be a beautiful learning experience. And much of that learning is going to take place in, most of it I think will take place out. We have three values that we'd like to foreground, to push in our college. And one is innovation, professional innovation. The second is personal integration at the personal level. And the third is social inclusion. I'll go through them. Professional innovation. We would like learning to be a joy. Learning can be a pain sometimes, and your professors will design instruments of torture called exams and assignments, but we hope that it will largely also be a joy. That's up to you. You have to reinvent and redesign your life so that learning is joyful. That means don't rely only on memory. Rely also on understanding more than anything else, because today you don't need memory so much. Now you're doing a postgraduate course. You have the huge database of the internet. We need more understanding and creativity. In today's world, where even machines can be taught to learn, the human element can never be underestimated. No matter how advanced artificial intelligence is, you have something important to contribute. Please never lose that one important. Otherwise, we will all be useless. Machines will take over our humans. I don't think that situation will come in the near future, at least. As of now, you have a lot to contribute. Think out of the box. Our educational system, the typical Guru Shishya system in India, will not be good for progress to take place. In the religious sphere, the Guru is to be revered and respected, no doubt about it. But in the larger sphere, the Shishya has to go beyond the Guru. You have to learn to question. You have to learn to question the Guru, question values, question how society is living by certain standards and values. Otherwise, we will not be able to reinvent ourselves to make the world a better place. Learning for service. As a Jesuit institution, we feel that however educated you are, however much wealth you have, however wealthy and powerful you are, if you are going to use that wealth and power and learning only for yourself, or even only for your family, I think it's a waste of energy. We have wasted our time and energy in educating you. I hope you agree with me. If you are going to learn something, let your canvas be larger. Maybe now you're young, you want to earn, you want to get into good jobs, you want to be well placed, you want to make a lot of money, that's good. But beyond that, beyond a certain point, you have to think of the larger community. Otherwise, it will be a waste of energy. If God has given you life, it is not only for yourself, it is for something larger. So that's professional innovation. The second is personal integration. Now this is an important point today. For some reason or the other, we feel that students who join us today are somehow more vulnerable emotionally than students who joined us earlier. I don't know what the reasons are. There are many reasons. So see whether you can develop emotional intelligence. See whether you can develop interpersonal intelligence. Today, employers want people not just to work like machines, they want them to work in teams. They want them to work in harmony. They want them to be happy so that there's a happy culture, work environment. So see whether you can cultivate that. Life is stressful, and education in India is extremely competitive. You had to go through the works to come here. Having said that, see whether you can be a happy person. That's what emotional intelligence means primarily. Moral integration. There is an agency called Transparency International. Every year it comes out with a ranking for every country. India's ranking, there's a corruption perception index. So where do you think we are? Do you think we are the least corrupt or the most corrupt country? What do you feel? Least or most? In which direction do you think we are? You can check that out. Transparency International, Corruption Perception Index. We are somewhere in between. So in terms of integration, integrity, in terms of the way you do business, in terms of the way you do your projects, your work culture, how do you introduce moral integration in that process? And spiritual integration. Father Pesso has designed a beautiful prayer. We are one of the richest countries in the world where spirituality is concerned, because we have very many spiritual traditions. Learn to tap into those traditions. But don't learn to tap into the traditions in a slavish way and in a violent way. That means when you are tapping into your religious resources, ask yourself some basic questions like, is this belief going to make me a happier person? Is this belief going to make others a happier person? Is this belief going to make other communities happy when they look at my community? These are the questions that we need to ask, especially if we want to live together in society. If India is to be a great country, which it will, we can only be a great country if we work together in harmony with others. So tap into your spirituality is a tremendous resource. Of course, as a priest, I cannot be expected to taste something else besides that, but I'm the director of a department of interreligious studies, very old department here, and I push this aspect of harmony with other religious traditions, which is, I think, India's greatest contribution to the world in the field of religion. And finally, social inclusion. They're moving the slides faster. They want me to finish faster, I think. But I think social inclusion, see, we are very diverse. We've got a Xavier Resource Center for the visually challenged, but it takes care of people who have some physical limitation. For many decades we've had this. But we as citizens of India have to take into account people who are marginalized in some way or the other. We have a caste system that privileges some and over centuries has not privileged others. We need to see how we can create an equal playing field, how we can introduce equity. So marginalization or exclusion can take place in various forms. Physical handicap, social marginalization. Today, we have to also take into account the environment. Our older generation has handed over to you a wounded planet. I think we are not sure when the rains will come, how intense they will come. Climate change is affecting us. Whatever field you are doing, see how you can make human beings more respectful of the environment. So these are 3 values, my dear friends, students and parents, we'd like to push. The first one is be innovative, be creative, think out of the box. The second is be integrated, different areas. And the third is include. The wider you can create the circle of your love, the more successful you will be as a human being. And the last slide has to do with your contribution, especially of the parents. How do you support your college? Your time, talents and treasure. We would like to improve our placements. Many of you, parents, are well placed in society, or you have been well placed. If you could support the heads of the various verticals we have for our placements at the end of the year, we attempt to place our students, all our students, see whether you can contact those heads and support them in terms of placements. Many of you are brilliant in your own fields of expertise. Our chief guest was our alumnus here. Many of you, see whether you can support us, even intellectually, in terms of the intellectual resources we provide. And finally, funds. I think your courses are priced very reasonably, and you have paid quite substantially as well, compared to the rest of the college. In some sense, your course is subsidized in some sense, the college. The college is an old college. It's a government-aided college. If God has gifted you with wealth, see whether you can gift that wealth to somebody else besides just you. So feel free, now that you are in the system, I can say that to encourage you, feel free to support the college, even though you have paid substantially for your fees, because that money will be used for the development not only of your XIC, the development of the whole college. So having said that, I would like to wish you a happy journey. It is going to be an intense journey, but it's going to be a journey filled with fun and learning. Above all else, be happy. You'll make good friends here. Some of them will be friends for life. Sir was saying, the chief guest, that he is still on WhatsApp contact with his batchmates. And make connections. And above all, make India and our world a better, happier and safer place. God bless you all.
Thank you, Father Keith. At XIC, every year we have a theme. Last year, it was Artificial Intelligence and Media. The theme for this year is Communication in the Post-Truth Era. We are proud to have with us one of our alumnus, advertising and marketing batch 86-87. He is also our keynote speaker, Mr. Suresh Balakrishna. XIC staff member Neharika will present a token of appreciation to him. Suresh Balakrishna is an accomplished media and advertising veteran with over 3 decades of experience. He is a visionary and is known for his fierce spirit and can-do attitude. Currently, he is the Chief Revenue Officer of the Hindu Group. He has been a key influencer in the group's continued growth trajectory. Under his leadership, the brands of the Hindu Group have conceptualized community building initiatives to effectively engage audiences. He is also a highly sought-after speaker at industry events and also serves on juries regularly. He frequently addresses seminars, guest lectures at institutes such as MICA, Ahmedabad, IIM Lucknow, and Shillong, VIT, SRM, etc., and was adjunct faculty at SIMC, Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, for a brief period. He was the only Indian media industry representative invited to the United Nations as part of the Leadership Council for the 4th Annual Media for Social Impact Summit, held at the United Nations in NYC on September 14, 2017. Suresh has rich experience in strategy, operations, and marketing in the media industry. Before joining the Hindu Group, he was the Chief Executive Officer, South Asia and Middle East, Kinetic Advertising India, part of WWP Group. He started his career with the Times of India and has been a part of the leadership team of many media and advertising organizations like Initiative Media, LMG, HT, Z Network, Mail Today, to name a few. He is also a trustee of Arsha Vidya Foundation. Arsha Vidya Foundation is a registered non-profit trust in Mumbai. It is dedicated to sharing the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, and Vedanta. I now invite our keynote speaker, Mr. Suresh, to address us.
Thank you for the extremely flattering introduction. Father Conrad Pesso, Father Kate D'Souza, Madam Dean. Firstly, thank you very much. Extremely nostalgic to be back at XIC after so many years. I didn't want him to say 86, 87, but he still said it. It sort of gives away my age, but doesn't matter. It's a fabulous feeling to be back here. I remember this hall. I don't remember the class much. I remember the canteen more. I wonder why. But it was probably a game-changing year in my life. And for that, I must quickly tell you a small story. I'm the only son in a South Indian Madrasi, I would call it family, where education is, above everything else. And so when I completed my 12th, when I was growing up, there were 3 choices. I could become an engineer, I could become a doctor, or I could become an idiot. There were 3 choices I had. I did not become an engineer or a doctor. What happened was, I wrote IIT entrance, I must say, twice, failed both times. And then I joined BSc chemistry, believe it or not. I took up science because, imagine going to my parents and telling them I want to do arts. I would have been thrown out of the house at that time. So I joined science and I graduated BSc chemistry. But by the time I did my graduation, I had more or less decided that advertising is going to be my way out. And Xavier's has a big role to play even in that. Because in my second year BSc, I came here for Malhar, and I won about 3 of the competitions here, some debating, extempore, etc. And that's when I realized that my talent lay there and not really in science. And Malhar actually helped me in discovering that. So Xavier's got a big role in my life. Then, of course, I applied at XIC, got through. And my batchmates, we consider ourselves the best batch of XIC. Every batch does, but we consider ourselves the best batch. I don't know if you've heard of Agnello Dias. He ran an agency called Taproot, very, very famous. If you've seen the Har Koi Dost Zaruri Hota Hai, the campaign of Airtel, and you know the Airtel music, which A.R. Rahman did, everything was done by Agnello and his team. Then he sold his agency. Now he's putting up his feet and playing football somewhere. And consulting occasionally because he doesn't need the money. Devika, who's the other student from my batch, was head of strategic planning of Low. Now she's in the US, settled down there. She's also consulting in advertising there. It was so good. At that time, I was dating my wife when I was here. And not that I'm recommending dating when you're in XIC, but incidentally I was. She's now my wife. She also came and joined XIC incidentally, and she's a very successful advertising professional. So both of us are XIC alumni, and she was with Ogilvy, then she was in Contract, and now she's a consultant with Contract. And her batchmate Sabrina is the girl who wrote Monsoon Wedding, if you all have seen the movie. So my batch and the batch, couple of batches after that, you will see a lot of successful alumni from the XIC. And for me, XIC was the game changer as far as giving direction to my life. I passed out of XIC. 30 years I've been doing just this, media and advertising. And I do come back occasionally. I came back in 2007 to teach. I came back in 2012 to teach account planning, strategic planning, and so on and so forth. I do keep in touch with XIC occasionally, not as often as I would like to. And my batch, which is now, 36 years old, we are still in touch on WhatsApp, 40 of us. And that's the kind of friendships we have made. We meet once in 4-5 years, but all of them are all over the world. So whenever they're here, which is rare, we meet maybe once in 6 years, but we have a great time talking about XIC at that time. So that's my story, just to give you some encouragement that if I did it, and I can tell you, I was not the brightest spark in academics, and if I could make it, all of you all look super intelligent to me. I think you all will make it big time if you focus and do well at XIC. Father Pesso called me and said the theme is communication in a post-truth era. I didn't understand what he said. So quickly I went on to Google and I looked up what was post-truth. Right? And I thought I must explain to you what post-truth is. From what I understand, it's because of the tectonic shifts that we have gone through. Emotion over fact. What we believe in has become fact for us. Our prejudices have become fact for us. Misinformation, and there's plenty of misinformation around, has become our reality. And this whole online community and people like me syndrome. So if you're an online community and you have 2,000 people in that community and all of you all think in a certain direction, you believe the whole world thinks in that direction, and that is the truth. And that has become your truth. You know, once I heard 2 youngsters talking and the argument went, and one of the youngsters told the youngster, "This is my truth, what is your truth?" Well, when I was young, I was told truth is the truth. There is no my truth and your truth, right? So that's how the world is today, and that's what I think Father Pesso wants me to talk about as to how this has happened to us over a period of time. And as communication experts, what's our responsibility in making sure that there is no your truth and my truth, and that there is only one truth, honestly. So Elon Musk, when asked about AI, right, and his own business, XAI, you know, right, he always trashes ChatGPT and all the others. So he's saying that it's important that AI is trained to be truthful and not be politically correct. Political correctness is often simply not true. That means you're actually programming AI to tell lies. And I think that will backfire very badly. Elon Musk does make some stupid comments sometimes, but you know, there was a lot of merit in what he said. I thought this was something to be thought about, what he said, that you know, you need not be politically correct, and if that's what you're building your machines and your AI to be, you are actually teaching them to tell a lie. Therefore, your role becomes very important, whether you're joining advertising, marketing, PR, journalism, events, experiential, whatever the course you're joining, it becomes your responsibility to become professional communicators and become professional in the way you communicate. And I think that is very, very important. Let me bring it closer home so that all of you can relate with this example. All my life I worked in media and advertising. Few years in advertising, few years in media, so I've seen both sides of the table, and it's been exciting. But I believe that the seed of this started sometime back when sensationalism in news became the currency. And I don't want to blame a medium, but if I were to pick a medium to blame, it would be television. Because sensationalism became the currency, and accuracy and detail was sacrificed at the altar of speed. Breaking news became extremely critical. Let me give you a recent example. All of you all know about this example, I hope. The Nightingale of India, Lata Mangeshkar, passed away a few years ago. And I don't know if you all remember this. She was critical for about 3-4 days, and channels were constantly reporting her health and stuff like that. One channel reported her passing away 2.5 hours before she was officially declared dead. And then they had to come and retract. They came and retracted on screen. I don't know if you remember the whole sequence of events. They came and they retracted that piece of information saying, we are sorry, this was not the case, we heard, and so on and so forth. Why? It was because in their hurry to report that she was no more. Dramatization of events and bending the truth to create drama became the next currency. And this is something very personal to me. I'm a big fan of Sridevi, the actress. And you know, she had a tragic death in an accident in a hotel in Dubai. And she died of drowning in a bathtub, if you remember that, a few years ago. And I was so mortally wounded when 4 hours after that, the cops have not even begun the investigation. Speculation has started. Drug overdose, suicide, her husband has murdered her. If you remember all that, right? There is no truth. The investigation has not even started. And one insensitive journalist is actually lying in a bathtub and broadcasting. It was a Hindi news channel. He was lying down in a bathtub and he was saying, now this is my height, I'm roughly Sridevi's height, I'm lying in a bathtub, and you know, if you pour water, how can you? Somebody's died, right? An iconic national figure, whatever entertainment figure has died 4 hours ago. Come on, guys, you know, have a little more sense than that while reporting. So I think somewhere the seeds of that was sown then. And now all of us, including the parents and the students, all of us now, whether we belong XIC, Mumbai University, whichever university, all of us belong to one university today, and that's called the WhatsApp University, right? All of us in this room, 99% of us belong to the WhatsApp University. And as long as you have 10 people who follow you, and you have 10 friends who press the like button every time you post something on social media, game on. And truly it has become a game now, but a very dangerous game. Let's look at the last 2 days. And these were pieces of news on WhatsApp. I'm sure all of you all got it, I got it, so I'm reading it out to you. Nitin Gadkari to be next PM. There's a picture of Nitin Gadkari and Nitish and PM Modi standing, and all three of them talking. Some old picture. It's come back with a nice line below saying Nitin Gadkari to be next PM. Uddhav Thackeray has joined the hands with BJP. Yesterday I saw that. Uddhav Thackeray, Aditya Thackeray with a bouquet of flowers greeting PM Modi. Old picture. It's come back. Somebody's put it together, taken the trouble, put it out in WhatsApp. Right? Like it's a piece of news. PM Modi has resigned. That was a classic one. On the day of the election, the results came. One I liked the best. Nitish has taken the same Vistara flight as Tejasvi, so he's joining hands with the India bloc. Both of them अरे पटना से दिल्ली there are not too many flights यार, वो विस्तारा में एक साथ जा रहे हैं because one is going to meet his party, the other going to his party, but because they are on the same flight, he has decided to join hands with, and again, nice picture, block, like a news item, completely posted and with conviction, कि भैया ये तो हो गया, मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको. That is what, in the last 2 days, I'm giving you examples of, these are all in the last 2 days, I don't want to give you too many more examples. And of course, the most recent one, USA has beaten Pakistan in the T20 Cricket World Cup. Now, that one is true. That one is true. And that was also quite a shocker yesterday, but that one was absolutely true. Now, last 7 years, I have been working for the Hindu newspaper, so I can only speak for my group. I'm sure there are lots of other honest newspaper media houses out there, but we always fact check, we verify, and then we publish with our views. Same Lata Mangeshkar example, let me go back. My editor refused to publish the news on our digital feed that she had passed away. Every television channel started carrying, after she passed away, immediately saying, Nightingale of India passes away and all that. My editor refused to carry the news till the correspondent in charge of the story spoke to the doctor who was treating Lata Mangeshkar. And of course, the doctor who was treating Lata Mangeshkar, it took them more than an hour to get him on the line. So almost after an hour, hour and a half, they got him on the line. He confirmed that she had passed away. Then we carried that story. We were 1.5 hours late in carrying that story on our digital feed. The whole world knew by then that the great Lata Mangeshkar had passed away. But you know what? I prefer it this way. I prefer it this way. It's, yes, you're a little late in carrying the story, so maybe everybody's heard it from somewhere. But what they won't get is your point of view, your take on Lata Mangeshkar's life, your tribute to Lata Mangeshkar, which will be definitely the writer's style, the writer's passion, the way he brings it to you, and that's what people want to read. People don't want information. I was in London when Michael Jackson died. And he died in the afternoon, so next day, by the evening, everybody knew Michael Jackson had passed away. And in London, unlike India, the papers are not delivered at home. They are put in the metro. So you see the headline and you pay your 10 cents, pick them up and you get into the metro. So all the newspapers, right, the Daily Mail, the Guardian, all of them were there. And all of them had very good headlines. King of Pop, everybody knew he's gone because it happened earlier afternoon. Next day morning, King of Pop passes away. Michael, no more, etc., etc. Headlines, big, like the typical, if you've seen the English tabloids, right? Big, bold headlines. There was one newspaper which was getting picked up, and I stood there for 10 minutes to watch that regularly among these 6 or 7 newspapers. And you know, it was the Times, London. The headline was, Michael Jackson died 20 years ago. That was the headline. And it had chronicled the story of how he degenerated, he got that case of, child abuse, he started pigmenting his skin, he stopped singing about 20 years ago, the whole story, because by then the whole world knew he had died. And the headline was so different and so catchy, right, that people picked up that paper because they wanted to know the real story of Michael Jackson. So, and this is not restricted to journalism, it's advertising, any aspect you see, PR, you have to capture the imagination of the people, but by sticking to the truth and by hitting that passion points that are important for people. Today, as a result, one of the reasons why we are doing well, as we are doing very well on the digital, when I say we, I'm meaning the Hindu group, because trust, authenticity, and credibility, which were hygiene factors in communication 15 years ago, right, today have become premium, have become extremely premium. So, in fact, I don't know if it's true here. I can tell you in South India, the famous phrase is, "Agar Hindu mein aaya hai to sach hoga." That's what people say, because that's how the journalism is. I'm not saying we are the vanguard of journalism. I'm not even going down there. We have our biases. We have our weaknesses as a group. I'm not saying that, but the basic fundamental ethics of whether it's journalism or communication, I think we need to follow. And I think that responsibility lies with all of y'all, the parents and the students alike, in making sure that in the post-truth era, that there should be only one truth and we should push that truth. How do you do that? Very simple. Be vigilant, have critical thinking, and a commitment to seek out reliable sources. Evaluate your sources. Be vigilant. Look at a piece of news. Think if it's credible. Go to fact checker. There are so many fact checker sites, you know, right? Go to fact checker. Find out if the news is really true. Then report it. Any advertising claim you're making in any advertising commercial that you're developing, please make sure that that claim is genuine. Just because the client says, this is my claim, don't accept it. Do research on it. Find out if what because you're going to be doing creative on that and putting out a huge ad saying, you know, it can cure cancer. Fair, but find out, can it really cure cancer? Right? Before, don't accept it as a brief from the client and put it out, because your job is advertising, right? You're paid for it. But I think that's the way you need to draw the line and become better professionals. I can promise you, if you stick to fundamentals and ethics, you will be extremely successful in your career, because what was hygiene 20 years ago, which is, you know, credibility, trust, etc., has now become a rare commodity. And I think if you can bring that commodity back, this generation can bring it back, and no other better place than XIC to teach you that. If you put your head down for 1 year and really work hard, you will be there. So what is my closing mantra for students in life as in profession? It's worked for me. One is, think clearly, feel deeply, act decisively. Think clearly, is this true? Is this right? Fact check it, etc. Feel deeply. You must feel, you must have emotion, right? You can't be an emotionless person. So if it's the Israel-Hamas issue, don't accept it. Don't take a stance. Don't say, oh, Hamas raided Israel or Israel is bombing. Go back 5,000 years. What is the history between Hamas and Israel? Where did it all begin? Do that homework. Find out what actually happened, right? And why is this animosity today carrying on after so many generations? There is no wrong or right in this. There's no wrong or right in this. But you need to understand the whole history. Not that somebody is an aggressor and somebody is a defender in the Hamas-Israel issue. So think of it clearly. Feel deeply. People are dying. Hospitals are getting bombed. You should be upset about it. Feel deeply. But when you write or when you act on that, act decisively. Have a clear point of view. So think clearly, feel deeply, and act decisively. That's always been my mantra in life. So best of luck to parents and best of luck to the students. I'm sure all of you all will do well. You've joined the right place. One sample size standing in front of you. And anytime I've told Father anytime he wants me to come teach, I'm always available. But best of luck and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experiences with us and your insightful knowledge with us. We will now have the screening of the year that was.
The year that was, 2023-24. The annual report of XIC showcases the achievements and glories of our great institute. We have always been committed to creating an environment that helps young minds blossom and provides a platform for individual thinking, holistic development of the students' personality. Learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. The year 2023-24 commenced on a wonderful note, and we are happy to share the details of the commendable performances of our students. During this academic year, we received registrations from various states across the country. The XIC entrance test was conducted online on April 8th, 9th, and 10th of 2023. Subsequently, personal interviews were conducted in Bangalore, Kolkata, Delhi, and Mumbai, where students were evaluated by course heads and alumni. Notably, this marked the first time alumni were invited to participate in the interview process in their respective states. Ultimately, 280 students were admitted. The orientation for the new students took place at St. Xavier's campus on the 2nd and 3rd of June 2023. At the commencement of the academic year, students participated in a bonding session at our Xavier's Khandala satellite campus, followed by an engaging session with our alumni. Administratively, the first course head meeting was held on June 8, 2023, followed by the GR faculty meeting on June 28, 2023. Esteemed alumni Ishwar Gole and Anuradha Gupta of Journalism and Mass Communication 2007-8 were enthusiastic to deliver guest lectures at XIC. Students who participated in the photography workshop conducted by Mr. G.V. Ajay showcased their work in an exhibition at the Mario Miranda Gallery, inaugurated by the former Dean, Dr. G.B. Mistry. Shri Vapalla Balachandran, retired IPS officer, former Special Secretary at the Cabinet Secretariat of the Government of India, delivered a guest lecture to the journalism students on the topic of terrorism and human rights. In collaboration with Don Bosco International Media Academy, DBIMA, in Paris, XIC organized a 4-day workshop on direction and cinematography, provided XIC with comprehensive training in fundamentals and intricacies of filmmaking. Through practical exercises in planning, scripting, filming, and editing, the students were divided into groups and mentored by experienced faculty, culminating in a grand screening of their films at St. Xavier's Hall. Lolintas conducted an interactive session with the advertising and marketing students. Mr. Amit Prabhu, a seasoned professional in public relations, along with Ms. Sarika Chavan, an esteemed XIC PR alumna from the class of 2004, conducted an interactive session with PR students on the art of paying it forward. Mr. Mike Hanke, the US Consul General, conducted an interactive session with the journalism students, focusing on the media's role in US-India relations and how journalists can shape the narrative for both countries. A cultural exchange program was organized between 24 students from XIC and BMM with DBIMA Paris from November 12 to 19, 2023. The weekend online course under CAP program titled Strategic Integrated Communication Program commenced at Xavier's Satellite Campus, Khandala. Mr. Vinod Srivastava, the course mentor, led the session. Mr. Anup Kumar, Chief General Manager at Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, DICGC, conducted a presentation to raise awareness about DICGC's crucial role in ensuring bank deposits. On the 30th of November 2023, Professor Jason Bevan from Flinders University, Australia, conducted a session with PR and advertising students on integrating production technology for film and live performances. Faye D'Souza delivered a guest lecture for journalism students. XIC congratulates Josie Paul, an esteemed XIC alumnus and faculty member, and currently Chief Creative Officer of BBDO, India, for being recognized as the Asia-Pacific Creative Leader of the Year at the 2023 Campaign Agency of the Year. Alumni from the 2023 batch, Kushal Golwelkar and Adishri Amrite, shared their journey from XIC to the workplace, enlightening the students on the intricacies of desk and reporting work. On the 12th of March 2024, journalism students participated in a workshop on fact-checking conducted by Abhilash Malik, a journalist, fact-checker, and XIC alumnus from 2015. Sony conducted a workshop for film and television students on the advantages of mirrorless cameras, led by Mr. Sameer Ashraf, Sony Alpha Specialist, on the 5th of March 2024. Mohit Sharma, an actor and stand-up artist and FT alumnus of 1994, performed his mono act on Manto's Toba Tek Singh for journalism and film television students. This was followed by an interactive workshop on emotions and expression. The Advanced Integrated Communication Program, AICP, batch of 2022-23, celebrated their convocation on September 9, 2023. Director Father Pesso addressed the students, followed by Jinsi Cadeville being honored as the best student and Akhila Joshi as the runner-up. Rajiv Chawla, course head of AICP, shared his professional experiences and offered valuable advice to the graduating students. This event was attended by faculty members, students, and parents alike. The EPAM students actively participated in the events at 5th of November 2023 marked the annual fest, Ekshana 2023, inviting students from across the nation to explore the field of media through competitions such as Short Film Festival and the Great Storytelling Race. This year's theme, Artificial Intelligence and Education, attracted participation from 30 undergraduate student delegates from various colleges across India. On 9th of November 2023, Diwali was celebrated at XIC with puja by the staff members, reflecting the Institute's spirit of unity and festivity. Staff members celebrated Director Father Pesso's birthday, marking the occasion as Director's Day. Christmas celebrations were held with core students and staff on the 22nd of December 2023. In January, XIC hosted Jesuit Higher Education Association of South Asia. The annual Alumni Night brought together alumni, staff, faculty, and management for a memorable evening. In February, public relations students hosted Historia 2024, themed Navaras, featuring insightful panel discussions, mesmerizing musical performances, and storytelling sessions. The CGMRC Library organized a film review contest on films produced by ex-students. Winners included Siddhant R.K., Journalism, Shravan Krishnamurthy, Film and Television, and Advait Savargaonkar, Advertising and Marketing. St. Xavier's College upholds a strong commitment to inclusivity. As a part of this ethos, a 3-month internship program was offered to Tarun Nair, a student of Gateway School of Mumbai. Gateway School is a non-profit lab school dedicated to developing the capacity of both students and communities, particularly neurodiverse individuals, to lead productive lives and contribute positively to the society. The EPEM students visited Salvation Trust Manor, engaging with tribals and participating in various community activities. This visit fostered a deeper connection with the community based on humanity and happiness. The Face of the Faceless, directed by Dr. Shaisen Osef and produced by Ms. Sandra Rana, premiered privately for XIC staff and faculty members. It was also screened for His Eminence Cardinal Oswald Gracious and other dignitaries, including religious nuns and priests. The first public screening took place at the Y.B. Chavan Auditorium. Furthermore, journalism students had the opportunity to visit the photo exhibition Mumbai Monsoon Beyond 24/7 at the Dilip Piramal Art Gallery of NCPA. Curated by veteran photojournalist and XIC alumnus Mr. Mukesh Parpiyani, the exhibition showcased photographs capturing the joys and the struggles of Mumbai's monsoons, taken by 22 photojournalists. The film, television and video production students, under the guidance of faculty member Rajesh Joshi, organized a photography exhibition titled Reflections. Journalism students organized a photography exhibition titled Faces with XIC alumnus Mukesh Parpiyani, head of Piramal Art Gallery, NCPA, as the chief guest. Journalism students spearheaded the XIC Milan event, which marked the launch of the Xavier News website. Additionally, they had the opportunity to engage with National Film Award-winning musician Amit Trivedi, who performed his hit song Moti Verana. Renowned actor Nakul Mehta shared insights with journalism students during a session emphasizing the importance of purpose, resilience, and mental well-being in navigating the evolving landscape of journalism. Journalism students launched their magazine Youth Unbound with Chinky Sinha, editor of Outlook magazine and JR alumnus from 2004, as the chief guest. On September 26, 2023, the crew of the OMG team engaged in an interactive session with the students from Film and Television and Journalism departments. On October 16, 2023, journalism students attended a panel discussion titled Oppenheimer Through the Lens of Scientific and Cinematic Depiction at the US Consulate. PRCAI hosted their first academic conclave at XIC titled Are You Made for PR? Attended by students from Casey College, St. Paul's College, and XIC PR students. XIC maintained its position as the top-ranked private media institution in the country, being rated number 1 by Outlook and Open Magazine. XIC received prestigious recognition as the best educational institute from the World Education Congress Global 2023 and the Devang Mehta National Education Leadership. Tabassum Barnagarwala, an alumna of the JR program from the class of 2013 and a faculty member at XIC, clinched the award in Health and Wellness print category. XIC celebrated the achievements of its alumni on October 14, 2023. Tejal Dua and Ashna Dhiman, graduates from the Film and Television batch of 2022-23, secured second place in the documentary making contest, Womantaries, Her Story, Your Lens. Bijoy Idicheria, an esteemed journalism alum from the class of 2005-06, was honored with the prestigious 21st Century Emily Dickinson Award for book titled Click Snapshots in Verse. Presently, he serves as a communication specialist for the RBI. Jaskunwar Singh Kohli, an alumnus from the FT class of 2015, won the Filmfare Award for the Best Editing for Film 12th Fail. XIC celebrated consecutive victories of its students in Sabre Awards, with Kenny Sikri, PR batch of 2022-23, winning in 2023, and Ritika Kunwar, PR batch of 2021-22, winning in 2022. Miss Sandra Rana, Dean and producer of The Face of the Faceless, was felicitated on International Women's Day at an event held in Paris by the Global Organization of People of Indian Origin and the Indian Embassy in France. The R.K. Lakshman Theatre, located at the St. Xavier's School campus, was inaugurated on the 4th of April 2024. On the 14th of November 2023, Dr. Joseph Wellinger, former director of XIC, passed away peacefully. Dr. Wellinger was not only an exceptional Jesuit, but also he was known for his unwavering principles and high moral standards. In conclusion, the academic year 2023-24 at XIC has been marked by numerous achievements, enriching experiences, and notable collaborations. From hosting esteemed guest lecturers and industry professionals to organizing insightful workshops and cultural exchanges, the year has been a testament to the institution's commitment to academic excellence and holistic development. The successes of our students, faculty, and alumni in various fields such as journalism, filmmaking, public relations, and advertising reflect the quality of education and opportunities provided by XIC. Furthermore, the recognition and accolades received by individuals associated with the institution underscore its stature as a leading hub for media education and innovation. We extend our gratitude to all the stakeholders, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and partners for their contributions and support in making the academic year 2023-24 a resounding success. Together, we strive towards a future filled with boundless possibilities and achievements. As we move forward, we remain dedicated to nurturing talent, fostering creativity, and promoting inclusivity in our academic community. We look forward to another year of growth, collaboration, and excellence as we continue to uphold the values and standards that define the Xavier Institute of Communication, where potential becomes achievement.
I'm sure you all enjoyed watching the year that was, right? I now request Ms. Sandra Rana, Dean Finance and Administration, to address the gathering.
Good evening, everyone. Dear Rector, Dr. Father Keith, our Director, Dr. Father Conrad Pesso, our Associate Director, Father Gordon Daniels, Mr. Suresh Balakrishna, our Chief Guest for the evening, our course heads, faculty members, and all you students and my dear parents of batch 24-25. A new journey for you has begun from today, and I'm sure you are excited after watching the year that was, what is to unfold for all of you. You will be trained to become professionals. XIC will be a bridge between you and the professional world you will be entering a year from today. In the session you just finished, you were introduced to the curriculum and what to expect during your tenure at XIC. You've also signed an undertaking to abide by the rules and regulations laid down by the Institute. You'll find yourself in a pool of knowledge, a lot of referral learning. It's now left up to you how much you will imbibe from here. It is not an easy journey. You will be bombarded by sessions, assignments, projects, deadlines, attendance, and to add to it, it's the city, Mumbai, with its glitz and glamour. It is challenging, but if you discipline yourself, be sure to achieve your goals. I would like to quote Judith Williamson over here, who says, self-discipline means taking control of your mind, your time, and talents, and using all the tools in your toolkit to further yourself towards your ultimate goal. This is not an easy principle to employ, since it involves making good for you choices. Many times we would travel down the easy street, forgo the potholes and hurdles that life places in the way of those who practice self-discipline. Just remember that no one said that the race was going to be easy. It is only said that at the finish line, the race is worthwhile. So my dear students, practice self-discipline and run the race like a thoroughbred. Give what it takes and then demand the trophy. So wishing you all the very best for the academic year 24-25. Thank you.
All the best to you all. Thank you, parents, for your presence. Wishing the new batch a wonderful year at XIC. Now I request you all to kindly stand for the XIC anthem. With this, we come to the end of the event. Thank you very much.